Guys, and welcome back to another episode of the MD Investor, the channel where we talk about personal finance, increasing our financial IQ so we can break the cycle of generational poverty. Today's video is going to be a continuation of the last video where we talked about custodial brokerage account, which is basically an investment account for minor children. It's actually a great strategy that a lot of us have not really been educated about. Today's video, we're going to kind of continue with that, and I'll do a walkthrough in opening a brokerage account for the child in your life, whether it's your children, your nieces, your nephews, godchildren, whatever. Shout out to my son Zachary for helping me with this video. So on YouTube, it's MD Investor. We do weekly videos like this, trying to increase the IQ of the community so we can break the cycle of generational poverty. So let's get right into it. You can use any brokerage to open a custodial brokerage account. So, Vanguard is great, Fidelity. Today I'm on the TD Ameritrade website. I'm just going to kind of walk through. So here it'll say open a new account. Okay, so we'll click on that. We're going to open a new account. And it'll get us to this page. Select an account, right? So these are different offerings for a different account. Individual account, obviously for the individual. A joint account with rights of survivorship. So two adults have the account, and if one passes away, the account transfers over to the remaining person. Traditional IRA, which would be pre-tax, and then you have your Roth IRA, which is after tax. Rollover IRA from a prior custodian. And the account we want to open is the UTMA/UGMA account. UTMA, from the last video, stands for Uniform Transfers to Minors Act. And UGMA, Uniform Gifts to Minors Act. Those are the two flavors of custodial accounts. Okay? So we're going to click that. And here it says Uniform Transfers to Minors Act, UTMA, and Uniform Gifts to Minors Act, UGMA account. Suffice to say that the UTMA and the UGMA are very similar. For the last video, we mentioned that the UGMA is an account that enables you to hold typical securities, stocks, bonds, ETFs, mutual funds. And the UTMA, you can hold the regular financial assets, like we mentioned before. Plus, you can also hold intellectual property, such as a trademark, such as patents, such as real estate, such as precious metals. Okay, so it's going to give a little background, right? Sometimes these accounts sometimes used to save for child education, such as maybe similar to a 529, but you have more flexibility. With the 529, you have to use it for higher education. With these UTMA/UGMA, you can use it for education or other things. This account allows beneficiaries to use the assets as they wish when they reach the designated age, also called the age of majority. It kind of differs in different states. Okay? So it's a custodial account set up by an adult, which is the custodian. From the previous video, you know that we mentioned there's certain terms you need to know. The custodian is the adult that sets or manages the account or sets up the account. The beneficiary is the minor child, and the owner is the minor child. So a custodial account set up by an adult on behalf of a minor. All assets transfer to the beneficiary at the age of termination, also known as the age of majority, and it varies by state, usually between the ages of 18 to 25. There are no limits on annual contributions, okay? So we can contribute to this account, and there's no limit. There is a gift limit, though, of $15,000 per individual per person. Withdrawals must be for the minor's benefits. It is not tax deferred. Taxes are based on the minor's tax rate. We mentioned for the custodial account, the first $1,100 profit, dividends or whatever, is tax free. The next $1,100 is taxed at 10%, and any amount over that first $2,200 is taxed at the custodian's tax rate. The custodian can be any adult. The minor must be a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. So, if you are, pregnant, you can not open the account yet because you won't have the Social Security number. So you could put the money in a separate account, wait till the baby delivered, wait till you get the Social Security number, then open. But let's get into it. Open a UTMA/UGMA account. Okay, so here's the welcome page. Some things you'll need. Social Security number, like I said. You may need a foreign tax ID, passport, or visa number if you're not a U.S. citizen or permanent resident. You may need your employer's name, address, and phone number. Okay, state for establishing the account. And the reason, this is going to determine the age of majority, right? Because it varies by different states. So let's look at, actually before we do that, let's look at what I'm telling you about. Let's look at age of majority. That's what I show you for there are different age of majority. So look at age of majority, and this will let us know that it varies. Okay, so here is a table, and it has the states, and it has the different age of majority depending on the state. So here is for UGMA account in Alabama, the age of majority is 19. UTMA account, the age of majority is 21. Right? So it varies by different state, right? State of New York. I live in New York. So the age of majority for UGMA account is 18. Age of majority for UTMA account is 21. Then for the majority, they're about 18, but of course it varies, right? Now let's go back to our TD measure. Okay, so that's why they want the state. State of establishment for the account. Okay, we'll put in let's say we'll put in Kansas, okay? Because we put in some fictitious information, but it'll help us to show the point. The custodian. So this is the adult, the custodian, right? So this is where you put your name in. So we'll say John, and we'll say Doe, right? Generic. His email is here. His address will make up an address here. Okay, and the city is going to be ED. Okay, and the state, we're going to select it's going to be Kansas. And the zip code we're going to use is going to be 66021. Phone number, we'll make something up. And now the minor information. So this is going to be the beneficiary, right? Yeah, put their information. We'll say Adam, Doe. Does the minor live at a different address? And the reason why they're asking that is at the age of majority, when the minor takes over the account, that's where all the future correspondence will go. So does the minor live at a different address? And also for tax implications too, right? If the minor lives in a different address and now he's taking over the account, the taxes, will be, like the state taxes will be based on that state. So for we'll say, no, they don't live in a different address. You're gonna have to check this. I've read and agree. They wanted to put a phone number. We'll put the same number. Continue to personal information. Okay, click that. Okay, so we'll continue with that. So now they want some more personal information. John's personal information. That's going to be the custodian. So that'd be you, right? So John, make up birthday January 1, 1975. Whatever. January 1980. That's fine. You're a U.S. citizen, yes. Social Security number. Let's make a Social Security number 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the birthday, I gotta change it from 7080 to 1980. All right, I made him like, what, 200 years old? 1980, okay. Employment status, we'll say he is retired. But of course, you will click your status. If you're employed, they're gonna want information about your employer and so on. And this is all required by the SEC, right? The Securities and Exchange Commission. Basically, they want to make sure that people have a legal source of income to be opening these accounts, and you're not laundering money from like drugs and stuff. Adam's birthday, so this is going to be the minor child. Let's see if we can get this right. January 1. Let's make him pretty much a baby. 2022. He's a citizen, yes. He's the minor citizen, no. His social security number, let's make it 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Employment status, since he's only 4 months old, we'll say he is, we'll say he's a student. Let's see if they have that. Or he's unemployed. Let's see what they have option. Unemployed, 4 months old, he's a baby, he's unemployed. How do you plan to use this account? With a common investment. So they'll ask you that. How do you plan to use the account? And the reason that is important because some brokerage will not allow you to do certain risky investment like trade on margins and certain other risky transactions. So we'll say it's a common investment transaction, including stocks, bonds, ETFs, and mutual funds. Okay, continue to financial information. Let's hit continue. Provide financial details. And this is all required by the SEC. Annual income for John, which is the fictitious custodian. So we'll say he makes $50,000 to $99,999. That's his salary within that range. His net worth, again required by SEC. We'll say his net worth is $50,000 to $99. Okay, it's liquid net worth. Liquid is basically mean these are stuff in stocks, bonds, savings account, checking account. You can get to easily. His liquid net worth anywhere from 15 to 49. And like I said, whatever you use, these are going to be similar questions that you'll be answering. What is the source of funds for your initial deposit, right? What are you going to open the account with? Again, you want to make sure it's something legal. So we'll say this is from employment wages. What are the source of funds for ongoing deposits? How are you going to continue to fund this? Whether it's every month, you're going to put $500 or whatever. Where's the source? Employment wages. Right? They don't want you having drug money coming in. Are you, or is your spouse, or is any member of your immediate family living in the same household, licensed by, employed by, or associated with a broker-dealer firm, a financial services regulator, a securities exchange, or a member of a securities exchange? The answer is no. And those questions are required to make sure there's no like inside knowledge or anything like that, right? Because obviously, if you are or a family member is involved in one of these broker-dealer firms, financial service regulator, you are maybe able to get inside knowledge or inside information that other people are not able to. They basically want to know. Are you or is your spouse or is any member of your immediate family a member of the board of directors, a 10% shareholder, or a policymaker, officer of a publicly traded company? If you were Elon Musk, you'd have to answer yes. But I don't think most of us are in that category, so we're going to put no, all right? Now this is for the minor child annual income, but it's optional, right? It's optional, so we don't have to, right? The minor child, he has nothing. His net worth is nothing. He has no. So we can leave it blank. We don't have to answer it. But then you have to answer this question though. Same thing. If the minor or the minor's spouse or any member of the minor's immediate family living in the same household, licensed by, employed by, or associated with a broker, dealer firm, a financial services regulator, a securities exchange, or a member of a securities exchange. You may say this seems redundant. We already asked that for the adult. But remember, I said that a non-family member can be the custodian of a custodial account for a child, right? So if I'm opening a custodial brokerage account for my neighbor's child, right? I can do that. All I need to do is get in his social security number, his information, and I can open a brokerage account, a custodial account for my neighbor's child. Or you could do the same thing. So that's why it asks. So if I want to open a brokerage account for Elon Musk's child, I'd have to answer yes. His father is a 10% holder of Tesla or whatever. So it seems redundant, but that's why. Because non-family member can also open a brokerage account. The answer is going to be no to both of these. Where do you want your cash held when it's not invested, right? If you've had an open brokerage account, you'll know that you'll have your cash can be one of two places. It can be invested in equity, stocks, bonds, ETFs, so on. And it could also be in cash or like uninvested, right? A lot of times people keep it in cash when they're waiting for an opportunity to come. So when it does happen, they can move. So it's saying here, where do you want your cash held when it's not invested? You want to be held in an FDIC insured deposit account at one or more banks? Other option, hold it in my brokerage account, where it is protected by SIPC insurance, which stands for the Securities Investor Protection Corporation, up to $250,000 in cash. Continue to review information. So let's review the information for you and Adam, okay? So they have what count is a Universal Transfer to Minors Act, Uniform Gift to Minors Act, so UTMA/UGMA. The detail, the state for establishing an account, and we said the reason why you want to know the state is because different age of majority. Because it's in Kansas, they said the minor's age when custodianship will terminate, meaning when a child reaches the age of majority, he's 21. If that was another state, it might have been 19 or 20. John's contact information, which is our fictitious person, John Doe, his email address, his home, his phone number, John's personal information, his date of birth, and so on. Social Security, all that stuff we made up. How do you plan to use the account? Common investments, right, with the stocks, bonds, so on. And these are required by the SEC. Its financial information, its annual income, its source of income for the deposit, its net worth, what's liquid, and it's not related to any of a broker, dealer, or financial services regulator. Same information for the minor child, who's the owner of the account. And hit continue. Like I said, this is going to be the same with any broker dealer. Obviously, because this is all fictitious, is that we're unable to verify your identity, right? So, because obviously the fake social security number, that's why we're not able to do it. But after you get to this point where you put in a basic demographic, there's going to be a portion where it'll be like, how are you going to fund the account? And then they'll ask you for the routing number, the account number, how much do you initially want to use to set up the account, and then do you want to do like an automatic investment going forward, $100 a month or $200 a month, and that's pretty much it. You'll be set up. You'll have account number. You can probably get the app on your phone, and it's as easy as pie. So whatever you want to use, whether it's Vanguard or Fidelity or TD Ameritrade or whatever, it's a great idea just to get your children started, okay? And you continue to invest. The next, obviously, when the account is open, then the next thing will be what do we put into it, and that's when you will put into all the stuff that we talk about in past videos. So you want to put in their an S&P 500 index fund, fine. You want to put a total stock market index fund in there, or you want to put individual stocks, right? But at least now your child does not have a savings account. They have a brokerage account where they can hold equity and so on. So this is another quick video, guys, from the MD Investor. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. It's MD Investor. Let your friends and family know that there's a place where we're trying to increase our financial IQ, one video at a time, and try to break the cycle of generational poverty. And until next time, continue to command your money to grow, and I will see you on the next one.